So welcome to Mad About Yarn, yarn lovers. Lovely to be with you again. So what am I doing today? Today I'm going to review one of the many knitting magazines that are on our shelves. When it's cold and wet out, you don't fancy knitting, or you might have a bit of cramp in your hands or whatever. It's nice to just cuddle up with a magazine and a cup of coffee, see what's out there. So I had a look through the shelves. I thought I might do this once a month, have a look at, review a knitting magazine and maybe a crochet magazine. If that's something you'd like, let me know in the comments. I know when I buy a magazine, when it comes like this, when it's all sealed, it's great because there's a gift in there. But what I don't like is I can't see what's in it, and often I've been disappointed because the magazine's been full of adverts rather than useful projects. So today, for January, I'm reviewing the Let's Knit magazine, the January 2026 edition, or issue number 216. It was £4.99, so it felt like it was good value because it said there were 50 plus patterns in there. So that's the edition. I'm not going to show you any pictures out of here that have got the patterns next to them, the pattern instructions, because that's not allowed and it wouldn't be fair on the magazine either. But what the purpose of this is just to give you a flavour of what's in that magazine, in case you were thinking about it and not sure. So without further ado, first of all, 50 plus patterns in there, so I thought that was good. Also, what I really liked about this was, as well as the pictures on the front, really like him, I think he's really cute, so I might have a go at that. On the back, it's also got the pictures of some of the projects in there. Thought that was really good. And then when I opened it up inside, even better, it shows you all the projects in there. So I thought that was really brilliant, really nice touch, made it dead easy to decide whether or not I wanted the magazine. So I picked it up, and so let's have a look what's inside. Is it value for money for £4.99? First couple of pages, a few articles, different things, what's coming up. There's a little bit about tags that you can add to your knitting projects to make them really special. But what caught my eye in the first couple of pages was an advert called The Perfect Getaway, and it was advertising a company called Stitchtopia. I've not heard of them before, but they do getaways. I think you can go for 3 days or 4 days. Didn't have a proper look at the site because I've not had a chance. Did have a quick look, and what I found was that they do knitting weekends, crocheting weekends, crafting, that sort of thing, all to do with sort of yarn and crafts, embroidery, quilting, textiles. Really nice thing to have, a nice present, because I think they're a bit pricey. I know when I went to the Knitting and Stitching show a couple of years ago, there was a lady there, designer, and she did these fantastic designs of knitted garments. And she also had a property down in Cornwall. I think it was Cornwall or Devon. It did appear on Four in a Bed quite a few years back, but it was quite expensive and you went there for a long weekend. It's a bit of a retreat, I think, if you do something like this. If anybody's been to one of these, I'd be really interested to know if the weekend was worth it, because the prices were about £500 for 3 days for the different workshops. You do get a tutor for the weekend, and I expect the hotel is fantastic and the scenery and where it is, but it's full board. So 3 days, you get there about 4 o'clock in the afternoon on the first day, so you get the next day and the next day, so it's 2 nights and 3 days for about £500. A little bit out of my price range, but I did think, oh, I wonder if it's any good. So if anybody's been, really interested to know what you thought. And a really nice gift if if you're in the market, maybe having a special birthday, you could ask for something like that as a gift. So it talked about that. It's also got a section on the different books that are available at the minute, the most up to date or new releases. So one about needle and felting, that sort of thing. in the corner, tucked away, that I would have missed, I might sort of catch it up later, was a crafty events for your diary. So a few dates and that in there about events that are coming up. One that's caught my eye is the East Anglia Yarn Festival in Norfolk. So that's on the 21st and 22nd of March. So I think I'm going to go along to that. What else was in here? What's trending for 2026? So this magazine is saying knit-alongs are trending for 2026, and it gives a bit of detail about a site that you can go on. I think it's letknit.co.uk. You can go on there and find a knit-along. I did wonder whether or not we wanted to do one. What do you think to that? We could do something for the summer, so we start maybe in the next couple of weeks and do a summer top or something like that, or we could do something a bit longer and do something for the autumn. I've thought about it a few times, but I'm not sure. Let me know if you think that might be a good idea. We could do a knit one and a crochet one, so that would be quite fun. And I've got a Facebook page, so we could put the pattern on there so you don't have to worry about that. But what could we do? If you're interested, let me know if you've got any ideas. Don't worry if not, though. So that's talked about what trending, and then then there's quite a few pages with the patterns. And what I like is the bulk of this magazine is patterns with the instructions, which are really clear and easy to read. So the first one are these, which are quite nice. I like those. I like one of them. One of them I would do. Heart jumper. There's a really nice jumper here. I'll show you the picture. This one, that one. When you see the fuller picture, it's got some really nice shaping which you don't actually see in Chunky, and it sort of goes in just under the bust and then flares out again. Thought that was a really lovely touch, and I'm going to try and have a go at that one. And I quite like cabling when I get round to it. Oh, that's not the picture, but so yeah, so that's one. So then the other thing I noticed while I'm looking through here is that most of the jumpers go up to a size 22. They start with the small sizes, but there's quite a few in here. I think there's 3 or 4 that go up to a 26, 28, which is great if you're a larger lady like myself. Very often you can't get free patterns in books like this that go to those sizes. So I quite like it, and there's a nice range as well, a bit of cabling, bit of Fair Isle on this jumper, little trendy crop jumper, that's quite nice as well, a couple of those. So yeah, up to now it's looking really lovely. Max the Tiger, that's the bigger version of the tiger on the front. I think he's really lovely, or really cute, shall I say, instead of lovely. So that's one that I would really have a go at. And then littered throughout the magazine, there's plenty of stash busters. So if you've got odds and ends of yarn, excuse me, there's 2 pages of flowers, fast flowers it calls it, a pansy, a geranium, a lily. That's quite good. Something for the home. It's quite a nice little double knitting cushion. That's lovely as well. So that's good. A couple of things for the toddlers in your house, and again a really good range of sizes. So this little one here starts at where does it start? 3 to 6 months, right up to 7 to 8 years. So that's fantastic. I think a really good value for a magazine. So well done, Let's Knit. That's the little one for them, and then this one as well is really cute. I think that one goes up to about 18 months, because I can't imagine a 7 to 8 year old running around in a pair of knitted dungarees, can you? There's some competitions in here as well that you can enter online for books, wool, that type of thing, little puzzle page. And what's unusual is there's even a page of granny squares for the crocheters among us. So you don't usually find that in a knitting magazine, but there's 6 different designs. And another interesting twist is a charity knit, a baby blanket that they've got in here. So yeah, that's a really good idea. And then you've got 3 or 4 pages of knitter's know-how. So it shows you how to purl, how to knit, how to take measurements, needle sizing, a bit of information on there. And again, they've got a couple of little projects to try. Yarn weights and substitution. I really like these little bits here in the corners. It's like they've filled every page with something interesting. So how to do a satin stitch, how to do a French knot. There's a little section on tension. So it's really full of stuff, this. And then at the end, the West Yorkshire Spinners, obviously a group, and they make yarn as well. They produce yarn up there. They've dedicated a few pages to the West Yorkshire Spinners, and there's some patterns that they've provided, and they're beautiful, really, really beautiful. And one of the patterns, the bubble stitch jumper, which is one I'm definitely going to try because I have trouble with the bubble stitch, so this is one to practice on, and it's chunky. The West Yorkshire Spinners have said that for every ball of Retreat Chunky Roving that they sell, they're going to donate something to Mind. So well done, West Yorkshire Spinners. I think that's a really good, it's a nice thought and a really good idea. We've also got a hat set, so with the fingerless gloves, hat and fingerless gloves with a Fair Isle type pattern, although they might tell me off because I don't think it is Fair Isle, but it's lovely. And then cosy socks, hate knitting socks. So that's not something I'll be trying. 2.5mm needles. Oh, no, thank you. My eyes are bad enough as it is. Lovely, big, chunky scarf with matching gloves and hat. So yeah, it's really good. Full of stuff, this magazine, and lots of things that I'll be trying. Again, I'm not paid. I just think it's nice to know what's in them sometimes before you buy them, and I thought you might find it useful. So I'll do that again if people like that. Would I buy this magazine again? Probably would, actually, for £4.99, because there's so much in it. And like I say, if I can get 4 or 5 patterns that I really enjoy or want to knit out of a magazine, that's good, because usually it's just the one on the front or one inside that I've seen. So I think it's really good value. And the other thing about this magazine, just before I sign off, is that the range of yarns that they use, they've got Paintbox, Stylecraft, King Cole, Rico, all of the different brands used. They've not just stuck to one. And a really nice touch is that they suggest an alternative for each of the patterns, an alternative yarn, if you can't get hold of the yarn that it suggests. So again, there's not many magazines that do that. I'm really impressed with this one. Let's hope I'm impressed with the others as we go through the year. But I hope you enjoyed that little review of the Let's Knit magazine. Hope you found it useful. Let me know in the comments. Like it if you liked. And I'll see you again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.